story that caught our attention. We're talking about a number of U.S. scientists, some connected to very sensitive research, who have died or disappeared. Let's break down what we know.
Within a span of 8 months, two major figures in the Air Force Research Lab vanished without a trace. Monica Reza, a rocket scientist, went missing while hiking in Los Angeles back in June, and retired Air Force Major General William Neal McCaslin, who reportedly oversaw classified space weapons programs and has been described as a, quote, UFO expert, disappeared from his home on February 27th. Meanwhile, another 3 scientists were either murdered or found dead in just the last 3 months, including an astrophysicist credited with discovering water on a distant planet, and an MIT scientist whose research reportedly may be tied to secret UFO technology. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett tells the Daily Mail that he sees a clear pattern in these disappearances and deaths, noting their work has been linked to theories about alien spacecraft. Here with the reaction is Missouri Congressman Eric Burlison, who is a member of the task force on the declassification of federal secrets. Congressman, thank you for joining us. You know, a lot of people are going to hear alien UFO, they're going to roll their eyes. So let's tackle it from this. These are some of the nexus that these people, I think it's up to 8 now, with 2 or 3 kind of being maybe a murder-suicide. But I think it's up to 8 that have some sort of connection to specific places, like I believe it's Los Alamos, the lab there. And so to the very least, these are people who were working in or recently administrators on tech that we're still trying to figure out, whether it's nuclear or dark matter or whatever, however you want to look at it, whatever angle you want to take. They had something in common, and now they've mysteriously disappeared or died.
Yeah, it's remarkable that General McCaslin apparently walked out of his home, left all of his devices, and never came back. And Monica Reza, she was on a hike as well and mysteriously disappeared. And I've heard of others. We've already sent a letter. When I first came in, I heard of another gentleman, and I'll keep that name out of respect. I sent a letter to the FBI investigating the suspicious suicide of another individual who had worked alongside, other whistleblowers like David Grush and Jake Barber who had come forward. So their colleague is mysteriously committed suicide. We've already sent the letter to the FBI to investigate that, and that is an ongoing investigation. So these are other things that we'll probably be reaching out to the FBI to see if they have anything going on these, and if not, then we're going to ask them to do that.
Yes, certainly. Congressman, I am all bought and sold in to the alien discussion. I watch a documentary that I reference on this show often called Age of Disclosure. I'm sure you're familiar with it. But in that documentary, those that have seen it know that those that are whistleblowers and talking about UFO activity, alien activity, they know that they are fearful of retaliation, retribution, whatever, for disclosing alien activity or I guess anything related to it. So how much of this are you concerned? It could be not the aliens themselves doing this, but somebody who possibly wants to shut people up. That's what I'm concerned about.
There's some strange stuff happening in the southwestern U.S. at this time, to say the least, whether it's Arizona with Nancy Guthrie or in New Mexico.
The fact that he was a high-ranking military official with high security clearance at a variety of positions in the military, of course, at that base in Ohio that has been long rumored to have ties to UFOs, extraterrestrials, things of that nature.
Ranking members Connolly and Garcia, members of the committee. It is my honor and privilege to testify before you on the issue of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, formerly known as UFOs. On behalf of our brave men and women in uniform and across the intelligence community, as well as my fellow Americans who have awaited this day, thank you for your leadership on this important matter. Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries. I believe we are in the midst of a multi-decade secretive arms race, one funded by misallocated taxpayer dollars and hidden from our elected representatives and oversight bodies. For many years, I was entrusted with protecting some of our nation's most sensitive programs. In my last position, I managed a special access program on behalf of the White House and the National Security Council.
Okay, so who has the imagery?
I can tell you that in the closed setting.
can you describe what was depicted in the satellite imagery? Just a description.
It was a UAP, ma'am.
That's it? No other description?
The term that the analysts use, they call it the button. It was a disc-shaped object.
Okay, where was it?
I can't tell you that, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote, advanced technologies not by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe, end quote. If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force Technologies, I would not be able to discuss.
Okay. Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals. I submitted for my book through the DOPSR process, which took a year to be reviewed. And what is in the book is what I was told I'm allowed to talk about.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
Does the U.S. government have any reverse, okay, we've already answered that question about retrieval programs. Do any U.S. contractors have the same?
I would prefer to address in a closed session, ma'am.
There are both government employees who've been injured by UAPs, placed on leave, and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again, because I've seen the documentation by the U.S. government for several of these individuals who have sustained injuries as a result of a UAP incident.
So I want your guys' perspective. What am I missing in this, and why does it matter, Ross?
It matters. G'day, Chris. It matters because that is a Hellfire missile, you know, one of the top missiles in the US military arsenal for combating, surface to air, to air. And it frankly didn't make a jot of difference to whatever that object is. And that's significant because what it shows is there is a technology that is unhindered by whatever it is that the US is trying to use against it. This is significant. This is obviously something that I think in the past the United States military, the intelligence community have tried to keep from public knowledge. Is this the reason why they don't want us to know about the UAP mystery?
These are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas, and that's why, I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas, and so to me it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions.